Hey, everyone. This is Let Me See Your Transcript. Your very favorite history teacher. How y'all doing this afternoon? Um, Today was a long day. At least for me. I taught four classes and then my lunch slash conference. I really just work most of the time because I have what's called, well, teachers have it this time of year. We have what's called our summative evaluation. And so I forgot that I made mine for Monday on Cinco de Mayo. So I needed to get, these final forms and stuff completed before, Monday. Um, so I just got one more thing to do. I just got to get all my certificates from my professional development, all that kind of stuff together. But anyway, so I get these news notifications. Some got all the news. I'm on News Break. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Reddit now. Um, uh, what's the other one? I'm on Patreon. I'm trying to keep up with everything. Having to look, I teach U.S. history and government, and I have to update my lesson plan almost daily because stuff is changing. We got a new president, we got a new Congress, we got some new cabinet members, we got all kinds of stuff going on. And today, this morning, the first notification I got was my national security advisor, Mike Waltz, was getting fired. So I was like, okay, finally. He should have left a long time ago. Why are y'all? He done added a report to the group chat, and then he gonna say, "So I don't know how he ended up in there, and he made all these mistakes." And his answer didn't make any sense. But one thing he did, he said, "Hey, I made a mistake, and the buck stops here." And then later on, Pete Head said he's worse. He got a whole nother second group chat with his family and his lawyer. He just copying and pasting from Mike's group chat to his. And I'm just thinking okay, is Pete gonna eventually go too? So I was just trying to figure out, okay, Mike is gone. They're gonna get somebody else. But then this afternoon, I get another notification he's going to be nominated to be the ambassador to the UN. I think that's one of the few positions still left, because the other person that Trump was going to nominate, that person is a congresswoman in New York, and so they're scared to lose their. He's scared for the Republicans to lose their slight majority they have in the House of Representatives now. So he withdrew her name. So this morning, Mike got fired, and then this afternoon, Mike got hired for a new job. But then on top of that, hey, Lindsay, this is why I picked the pictures that I did, because I was like, when I was reading one article, and I put the article from the Politico, and they do most of their, what they do is what's going on in the three branches in Washington, D.C. That's all mostly what they do. And not ironically, but it makes sense to me, Doge is the one that canceled every federal employee's subscription to the Politico. They're like, you need to get that magazine on your own. And that Politico also tracks votes on bills, like when they're introduced, who they're introduced by. So they do that as well. So it was just like, okay, you really don't want the federal government to be informed? Okay. And then this is the thing. in the same article, and a couple other articles too, and also I went saw some different commentators. You know, I'm getting little bits for CBS News, ABS News, Associated Press. They're all giving a little snippet, and they're like, "Hey, he's getting fired, but he's also getting nominated." So I'm seeing like videos from like 5, 6 hours ago saying he's getting fired. Then I'm seeing the new videos within the last 37 minutes, 25 minutes, 20 minutes. Oh, he's getting nominated for to be a UN ambassador. I said, why did you do that? You know he's for to put everybody over at the UN business in that goddamn signal group chat. You know he still got that signal group chat. And then, oh yeah, and then this is the thing too. You talking about Mike or Marco? Because Marco, oh poor Marco. You know what? If anybody ever goes postal in that cabinet, it's gonna be Marco. Because out of everybody over there, to me, he got the most sense. He has the most experience. You can tell when he knows something that just don't feel right, but he's there doing his job. Trump gonna say, in the interim, I'm gonna make Marco Rubio, who's the Secretary of State now. He already got one job. He gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna make Rubio the interim national security advisor in the meantime. Now, mind you, I believe Henry Kissinger, I want to say Henry Kissinger had both jobs. Or did Nixon prop up the NSA job over the Secretary of State? But anyway, both deal with, foreign policy, but national security can also be domestic as well. But poor Marco looked like that. You know how the reporters are always telling people, they always telling the president about something going on in the news. He was the last one to know. But it's like Marco was the last one to know. And then Mike over there looking like, oh, wait, I'm not fired? I got a new job? Oh, really? And then Marco's over there like, damn, I got to do his job too? I would say, am I getting 2 checks? I'm doing 2 jobs. So he's going to be the interim part-time national security advisor and be Secretary of State at the same time. Okay. We're going to put Marco on the prayer list because he already looks stressed. The other day he yawned in the meeting. Hey, Darcy Dunn. So he probably ain't getting enough sleep at night. Hey, Elise Stefanik somewhere punching the air right now that Mike got her UN gig job and Mike gave up his seat for 100 days of humiliation. Yeah. But he withdrew, I think that's the lady from New York. He withdrew Elise's because he wants her to. Marco is out as archivist as well. What's archivist? He was the archivist of the National Archives. So he was going to have 3 jobs. What? See, you know why? Because he's the most competent one over there. You can't have Christy Nom archiving stuff. You really need to be, this is the thing, you really should be hiring an archivist or a librarian because a lot of times they do archives. But this is the thing, he got in trouble for the archives the last time, so Trump wants somebody in there that's loyal to him. But this is the thing, he had documents and stuff that he wasn't supposed to have. He was supposed to turn them over. So this time, he probably want to, his president, when his time him to leave, he want to take whatever we want with him. So whoever is left that's loyal to him, they won't say nothing to him. That's what he's trying to do. Same thing with Cash Patel. Yeah. Hey, the FBI ain't finna come to my house with no warrant because I got the archives over here because my man is over there at the FBI. If anybody ever go post over there, it's going to be Marco. At first, Marco looked like he was eating, but now Marco looked like he losing weight. I said, okay. And then someone caught him yawning at the meet, yawning at the meeting of the day. And I think the meeting was only 2 hours, but he probably, getting kept, they probably keep him up at this job, the jobs. Oh yeah, Chrissy K. Yeah, she can't. Chrissy K. I got anything. You lose your purse. I still say right now, we're gonna find out later on that was a whole sting operation. They just needed to have someone as high profile, um, you know, go undercover, but it really wasn't undercover to get her purse stolen, so they can trace it back to the people who were stealing stuff. Because there was like 2 or 3 other women had their purses taken in the last week, but Chrissy keep putting her foot in her mouth to my I thought one of my grandkids was kicking me. Really? You thought one of the grandkids kicking you? Not someone trying to steal your part. And then another, the most recent one she did, she gonna say, yeah, my purse was right there in between my feet. I said, what? Wait a minute now, because they said this man saw your purse on the floor and he just moved it with his foot. And he kept moving with his foot. And he kept moving with his foot. And then finally he picked it up, put it underneath his coat, and left. So I'm just like, if it was in between your feet and your grandchild is kicking you, why aren't you stopping what you're doing to address it? And then the man is found now. This is how the man is found, because he used her credit card. Hey, OG Patrice. Oh yeah, Lindsay, thank you for reminding me. Cash Patel was removed from the ATF. They're like, yeah, you just need to be over FBI. But Cash Patel is over there taking the private jet to go see games, to go see whatchamacallit games, UFC and National Hockey League game, and then go see his boo thing back in Tennessee. You supposed to be conducting business on the FBI private jet. We seen criminal minds. Anytime they had a case and they had to go across the country, they was in the jet. They was going to conduct business, sir. Oh my goodness. But I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, I'm like, what is the end game? You fired him and hired him at the same time. But you know what? I thought about something though. Because right now it's 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats. I think there's like 2 independents, but they always go with the Democrats. And Vance has to be there in case of a tie. And I think last night there was a tie. They were the Senate was actually trying to do something, but it was a couple of people. It was like 49 to 49. I said, what 2 people didn't go and vote? I said, come on, because you just needed a simple majority. 51. They were trying to take the tariff power from Trump. That didn't work. And then in the House, they were trying to they thought it was a simple amendment. There was a lot of different things that the Democrats were trying to do. And I was listening to Jasmine Crockett. She said, you know what? We told them, hey, if y'all vote for this amendment, we won't stall or we won't ask for these other ones. So this amendment was to say Trump, ICE or Trump can't deport U.S. citizens. Do you know them fucking Republicans voted against that amendment? And in the video, I need to clip it so I can put it on my channel. Because she also got some of her colleagues to give their opinion, including the lady who proposed the amendment. And a couple of them kept saying, hey, if you live in a Republican district or a place, you need to contact them and ask them, how did you vote? And I'm gonna go look on it later on. The thing is, I'm in a position where I have a special election. My representative passed away. So at this point, I'm kind of depending on some of y'all So if y'all got some Republican people, can y'all go check? I actually need to make a video to show people how to go check who their representative is and look at how they're voting, you know? So, because I do that with my students now when I teach government, and I was like, you know what, I just need to do a video, show everybody, because we all need to be doing that. I'm looking on there for their town halls and stuff. Some of them having teletown halls, some of them having face to face. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I get to go to a Republican face to face, baby, I'm gonna be live. Okay, I'm gonna take y'all with me. They're gonna say, oh, there's the Democratic agitators. Oh no, baby, I'm gonna show y'all what they done made these Republican voters mad. But today, they're also, because it's May 1st, it's May Day. There's some May Day protests happening today, which I'm great for all the protests because we need to get the move. You know, it needs to get out. But we also need to tell these people, hey, while y'all out here protesting, did y'all call the congressman or whoever the person like? We need to get that going too. You need to catch it on all fronts: the town hall, the protests. You know, everything. Using our voice, doing something, helping register. I need to go get. I just realized I need to update my voter registration, voluntary voter registrar certification. So, but yeah, I'm just like, But anyway, but this is what I say. This is May 1st, 4:33 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is what I think is going to happen. This is just me, and maybe I think he really wants. See, this is the thing. In his last administration, he kept having people resign because I don't know. I guess they realized, like, dang, the stuff you want me to do is not right, or I can't do it, or I don't wholeheartedly agree with it. So they left. Right? And he got new people. He was always in an influx of new people. So I think now he's trying to make sure, okay, I'll make sure I got some loyal ones that's going to stick by me in these next 4 years, and they're not going to go back. And then maybe he made a promise to them, like, hey, I'm going to make sure you stay in your job. You have a job here in my administration. So I'm wondering, but then this is the thing is, he wasn't realizing, like, hey, I got some loyal ones, but they some fuck ups though. They just like me. And so he don't want to get rid of the loyal ones that quickly. So he's like, okay, Mike did admit he did it. He got to go. And so, but at the same time, you need to fill this UN ambassadorship. But think about this though. What if he really wants to get rid of Mike, but he doesn't want to be the one to do it? I think he fired Mike from the NSA advisor job. So he put that paperwork in the HR. Then he puts in another paperwork in the afternoon to send to the Senate saying, hey, I want to nominate this person for UN ambassadorship. Now look at what the Senate is doing now versus what they did a month before tariffs. Because before tariffs and before the first signal gate, it was always 53 to 47. It was, and then Schumer, he made that mistake and did that bipartisan bill and pissed off the other House Democrats and stuff. But even he now is like trying to make sure that he's standing with the House Democrats. You see, because of Signal Gate, because of the tariffs, now you see a couple more Republicans saying like, hey, we need someone to investigate Signal Gate. We need to make sure to take back our tariff power, because we really don't like this tariff against Canada. And then some other people like, hey, I don't like what's going on with the intelligence. There's some things that I don't like. And so some of them are now willing to do bipartisan stuff. Trump doesn't want the Republicans to do bipartisan stuff. He just wants them to follow what he says. He even said, any type of bipartisan bill that comes to me, I'm going to veto it. So right now, remember, Senator Cory Booker did that filibuster against the stuff that the Trump administration was doing against Doge making all the cuts, the bill talking about they're gonna cut Medicare and Medicaid, and he did that 25-hour filibuster, and so that meant nothing could be voted on the floor. And because it was 24 hours, everybody was watching it or somebody was talking about it. The next day, a couple of the Republicans, they were like, okay, maybe y'all got a point about Trump. I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to listen. You actually got them, and they also prevented them from voting on confirmations too, in addition to bills. So I think now the way, and I see how they voted the last time, and that was for the tariff. So you probably haven't convinced everybody. The Dems got two to join them, but I think they might get some more to join them if they have to vote on Mike Waltz. Because there's some old school Republicans, they don't play about their national security. They really don't. Especially if you're a veteran. So I can see a couple more joining them. If we can get the two that already joined the Dems, make it 49. If we can get two more Republicans to join the Dems, then Mike Waltz won't be confirmed. He won't be confirmed as a UN ambassador. You don't need him going to the fucking UN and embarrassing you. You don't need that. By the way, the UN headquarters is in New York, so he doesn't have to go far. But I'm sure there's some other UN meetings he might have to go to across the way. But my thing is this: the UN ambassador voices what the president wants them to do. And usually the ambassadors are under I believe under the Secretary of State, I believe, organizational charter. So he will be reporting to Rubio. Because I don't need him down there on the fucking signal chat with Pete Hegseth and shit. And Pete just want to get the tea and just text it over to his wife, his brother, his friend. We don't need that. So that's what I think. I'm thinking he's hoping, hey, let me let the Senate. If Mike gets approved, okay, I got my guy in the UN. If Mike don't get approved, okay, I got a headache going away. But I didn't remove him. I could blame, because narcissists, they blame everybody, blame others. Oh no, I didn't see. I could see Trump saying this. Hey, I wanted Mike to be the UN ambassador. It wasn't my idea. The Senate didn't vote for him. It was the Dems. That's all they're gonna say. It was the Dems. That's what I do. He's a scapegoat. And someone made a good point. I need to go back to that video. They're saying, it might be easier to get rid of Mike Waltz, but it might not be as easy to get rid of Pete Hegseth because he's the Secretary of Defense. And you know what? I just to be honest, I wish Mike Waltz would have just said weeks ago, you know what? I'm gonna resign for the sake, so I won't be a distraction. Pete Hegseth should have did the same thing, but they ain't got that kind of integrity. So that's what I think. Wait, Mike Pence just pieces out with Russell and Violet? No, not Mike. You mean Vance? Not Pence. Pence wouldn't go to Valley. Go to Valley. Vance probably would. Hell, Pete Hegseth probably would too. He took us. This is the thing, though. Trump took us off it's called the UN Human Rights Watch Committee or something. And I'm just thinking, like, why would you do that? But then I thought about who Trump is, and I see what he's doing now. And I'm just like, you just not. He took us out of the it was a G8 or G7. He took us out of the World Health Organization. I was like, why you want to take us out of the World Health Organization? We had a whole COVID thing happening. Heck, we're dealing with measles now. And I'm really fearing that he wants to take us out of NATO. Not to say, you know, NATO is something from the Cold War, but right now, we have, you know, what's helping the Ukraine is that we have NATO allies that do surround them from the north and the west. You know, we do have a way of getting, you know, supplies to Ukraine. We do have a way to get humanitarian needs to Ukraine. We do have a way for, you know, refugees to leave Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, sorry, I don't. And then Putin already over there acting like it's Soviet Union again. To New York purgatory. Oh yeah. So, and then you know what? Because you know Trump always goes. He always flip flops. I could see him saying tomorrow, like, "Hey, I don't know where y'all got this idea that you know, I talked to." He gonna say, "You know what? I talked to what did he say when he talked to when he said he talked to Jeff Bezos? I talked to Jeff Bezos on the phone. And he said, you know, we had a talk, and then next thing you know, Amazon's like, oh no, we're not doing that." I can see him. I see Trump going online tomorrow. You know, me and Mark Waltz had a talk. You know what? He's not gonna be a UN ambassador, and he said he wants to take time off. He can't do the NSA job. It's just, you know, stress. So, you know, we're gonna let Rubio handle the job. Rubio looking at them like, can y'all please just? Am I gonna get 2 checks now? Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm. Hey, guess who went and did something? It's not his job, but I feel like he's clout chasing. But if it can help Abrego Garcia get back to the United States, I'm all for it. Matt, I paid for sex with teenagers Gates, who was going to be the Attorney General over Pam. But can you imagine if Matt Gates was an Attorney General and was talking to us and saying the stuff that we would? I don't know. Just I don't know. But Matt Gates, who doesn't have a position anywhere, I don't believe, went down to El Salvador to tour the CCOT prison, and he has some not very good things to say about it. I'm just thinking, like, okay, is Matt gonna do? Is Matt out here cloud chasing? Of course he cloud chasing. But is he planning on doing a move like he did on Kevin McCarthy? Remember, like he said, president when Kevin McCarthy was when he those 13, 14 rounds of order for Kevin McCarthy to become the speaker, and then 9 months later, here comes Matt Gaetz, y'all. He waits out to get his lick back. He made a put in a resolution to vote to remove Kevin McCarthy as speaker. Do you know it was seconded, and then there was only 1 round of voting, and he had him out of there. I said, dang, he took 9 months to get him back. And I was thinking, like, you know what? Matt Gaetz might be coming back to the damn Congress in some kind of capacity. Because even though he is a Republican, he really wasn't ever a big Trump Republican, though. I think he was going to do what he had to do because he was getting that job. So he was willing to kiss some ass while he was up there, but he didn't. He didn't get the job because, no one wants to be associated with, like, oh, you paid for sex. Okay. Oh, you paid for sex with a 17-year-old? Okay, you got to go. So I'm thinking he might do with some of these other, what do you call it? Conservative influencers like Candace Owens or Nick Fuentes, in that all for 4 years while Biden was in office, you were all like, oh, he's doing this bad, he's doing this bad, and you were hyping up what's his name? You were hyping up Trump. Now Trump is in office, and now you find yourself don't have nothing to say. Because he said all the stuff he said we're going to do, he's actually doing. So now you got to come up with a new strategy. What am I going to talk about to keep myself in the game? So here's Candace Owens all of a sudden now like, oh, I'm a Christian, and I just don't think it's fair that, someone exercising their freedom of speech is all of a sudden deported or, on ICE, deported by ICE. I'm like, oh, okay, you got a conscience on that? But now all this other stuff you did? Okay. So now that I'm seeing Matt Gaetz going to El Salvador? So now he going to have to come back. He probably going to go on some talk shows. He probably going to do some videos. I just saw one video I got to go finish watching. So yeah, he getting himself back in there somehow. So now, even Nick Fuentes, who's always very conservative, he started saying about how some of the stuff that Trump is doing, that he can't stand it anymore. And he said, it's just a distraction. He said, I hate to admit it, but the Democrats were right about this. Oh, and then he said oh, Lord have mercy on them. That truck flipped over. He said the quiet part out loud about this black, was it Brandon Tatum? Black conservative commentator. He basically said, you are here to validate what the Trump and conservatives are saying, and because you are a black man, you're allowed to say those things when I can't. All you are is a token. I was like, did this man say the quiet part out loud? I don't care for Nick Fuentes either, but still, it's just like, yeah. And then this FAFO, the black conservatives, y'all were hyping up Trump, and y'all didn't even get I think only one person got a cabinet position. Heck, Rick Scott did all that ass kissing. Tim Scott, and all that ass kissing for Trump. And then someone showed me a clip, I think it was Reese Waters, where he told Trump, I love you. I was like, what the hell? And you didn't get a cabinet position, a director of national security, or nothing? You know what, Lindsay? You know what? I can see you right. You right. Look, I think he was down there to do two things, like at the same time. It's like, okay, this is a working vacation. Maybe a month without meth helped lead him to his moral. Wait, he's a meth head? I would have thought he did coke because the way his eyebrows look. But then that might be just the way his eyebrows look, Oh yeah, and someone made a good point that I read about today is that Trump is basically trying to help us recoup the money and stuff we got in Ukraine. Well, I guess you can't. I don't know if you can regroup the money we gave, I guess, with the stuff we're going to give. So now that we're both, I'm invested in making sure that peace stays over here. If I know I'm going to get some money from what is underneath the, the Ukrainian earth. So, my thing is, what if they have some shit up on the Crimea? What is the United States gonna do? Like, okay, Putin, you gonna have to leave for real now. You think Putin gonna wanna leave? Tell me why Putin wanna do a ceasefire in 7 days for 3 days. And I looked at what was going to happen. It's basically the celebration of World War II victory over the Nazis. I'm like, you want to have a party for 3 days? That's why you don't want nobody fighting. If I was Zelensky and Petty, I send a fucking missile to Moscow at that motherfucking party and fuck it up. Like, you fucked up Kyiv when I was at the Pope funeral. Here's my lick back. Here's my lick back. And by the way, there are lots of Russians who are not supportive of this war. But guess what? He's the president over there. He acts like it's the Soviet Union. He suppresses freedom of speech and the freedom of the press. It was one guy. He was what do you call it? I want to say an opposition leader. Like, he was gonna oh shit, I was trying to get over. What was I saying? Oh, he was it was an opposition leader for the election. Do you know that man ended up getting arrested and put on trial for conspiracy against the state? And I was like, so this is what Putin doing, huh? That's why you don't really get here nor dissent from him. And I think Trump really wants to be like that. He wants to be like Putin and Bukele and Kim Jong-un. But he needs to understand something. You had 1,500 motherfuckers to go to the goddamn Capitol and do all that shit. And you pardon them. Do you know there's some people who can't stand Trump right now? They feel like doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, sir, do you understand? You set an example. You fire some more people. You send somebody's relatives who are citizens who did nonviolent crimes. You send them to somewhere. You send them to El Salvador or somewhere else. It's gonna fucking explode. Cause somebody gonna be like, you know what? I ain't got nothing else to lose. Nothing left to lose. See, and then I think that's why I gotta go look at it again. He just signed some type of executive order dealing with law enforcement. I said, okay, sir, you okay. But my thing is, you care so much about law enforcement, but you actually pardoned some people who was attacking the Capitol Police. Make that make sense. You can't, now you want to equip them to help with, I guess, ICE and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking like, damn, is this his version of COINTELPRO? Is this COINTELPRO 2.0? Is he doing a Nixon? Because Nixon was all about, I'm restoring law and order. Yeah, Putin still did, because it was like prime minister is basically over there, but they have more, more duties. It's like the prime minister in England. So there was term limits for the prime minister. So then he ran for president. And then when his when it was like his term was going to be up, They said, what did the man say? Oh, they he had a referendum or something put out, basically asking people could he be the president again. And you know he probably rigged the election, and they said yes. I'm just like, damn, you just. I'm just like, I'm just like, wow, just wow. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, what did you say? Uh, uh, he's made most of the Southwest a military base and has basically deputized the military to make arrests for those who step foot on the land. The fix it, Jesus, help us, Mama, or y'all. Okay. Also, there's a thing where um, different counties and different cities have signed what's called a 287G agreement with border border patrol and customs to basically assist them in um, getting capturing illegal aliens. And so, like in my state, um, I think, well, my governor already had signed something that um, he got the uh, the National Guard down on the border, and he got um, something law enforcement. Well, they're supposed to. What did he say? I forget what the law was. He was always signing something too. I should have known. Like Trump signed stuff, my governor signed stuff. I'm tired of y'all. I gotta figure out how to propose. I guess if it's one in kind, propose an amendment because I need some term limits for this dude. You've been in there long enough. It's time to go. You know, that basically, it's been happening here in Houston. Harris County, sheriff's office and the police, anytime there's like a sting or whatever, they've been assisting. ICE has been out there too. So yeah. But now they don't vote. The next month, ICE, the Republicans voted that okay, ICE can deport. Oh shoot, damn it, can deport U.S. citizens. I'm like, damn. So he's trying to send some homegrown people somewhere else, or to make it for the fact that last week you sent 3 kids that were U.S. citizens and one had cancer with their mama. To my the mothers wanted them to go with them. Did they really, or did you just not want to help do anything? I'm just, and unfortunately, there was an incident here in Houston that happened in December when Biden was still president. This woman had complications from having twins. She missed her appointment, and then what was it? Yeah, missed her appointment, and then so she was gonna go to, I guess, like her next appointment. Well, at the appointment, this is why I don't like this. Well, at the next appointment, she was basically getting deported, and like I don't think anyone contacted her husband, who is a citizen. 2 of the children that was with her were born in Mexico. Another 2 was born 2 months ago. And I want to say they sent her by bus. I think on the Matamoros side. Yeah, Matamoros, Mexico, other side of Laredo. And that woman didn't have anything. So the husband, he got they helped him get an attorney. So I still need to figure out follow up on that case. Cause I'm thinking like, did Trump them jump the gun? Like, did he have people already in the border security place already set up to do some stuff, or was this a thing that was under Biden? Because remember, he was like, at first they kept saying, "Oh, he wasn't doing anything on the border." Him and Kamala wasn't doing anything on the border. But then all of a sudden, the last year, it was like 91%. So I'm thinking, like, was this the 91% y'all was doing? But then I read about the guy that's the border czar. He worked under Obama, and was it George W? Definitely under Trump. And I knew something was off because I remember like all these kids showing up during the Obama administration, and all of a sudden I saw people separating children and stuff. And then these people were like, "Well, where's my child at?" That guy was in the Obama administration, and at the time, Obama, they said, was deporting more people than I think some of the Republicans before him. Than Bush was. And that was the borders are now. That was his idea. He said, how can we keep people from wanting to come here, or how can we get more people? How can we ensure they don't come back? And so they started separating them from the children, and then when they get deported, they deport them with the children because you don't want to be separated from your kids. You're just going, So I was just like, okay, this is. Yeah, I'm just. I kind of feel like Chick-fil-A. Okay. Maybe not. I think I still got something in the refrigerator. Yeah, but remember, and this is the thing, he keeps calling like the Proud Boys, the January 6th, although the January 6th were hostages. Hostages? No, goddamn freedom fighters. Like, what you done? And then there was some pro-life lifers who got sentenced. I want to say they either blocked or injured someone at a Planned Parenthood, and they ended up, and he pardoned them. Oh, he pardoned this guy, and it was because of loyalty. His mama was a libertarian, and the Libertarian Party started a campaign to get him freed, and then she got the Libertarian Party to come out and say they won't vote for Trump. And so Trump won, and guess what? He pardoned her son. And this man basically created a dark website where you can go on there and basically buy drugs. Yeah. He was going to be in jail for like 2 life sentences and some years. And I was like, and someone else made a good point too. They're like, didn't Trump talk to Romania to let Andrew Tate and his brother come here, and that man is accused of sexual assault and kidnapping. But you can't get a Borrego Garcia. But I don't find this video because supposedly last night Trump said that he can get a Borrego Garcia, but he don't want to, or he's trying to get a Borrego Garcia, but Bukele won't release him. And I'm just like, what is wrong with these people? I'm just tired. This is the thing about the status. I will say yes, like, hey, if you've been in the hospital, were you supposed to call and say, like, when you missed your hearing, did you call someone and say, hey, I missed my hearing because of this? I missed my hearing because of that. But my thing is, and also I have an issue, but then there's some people who have come over on a work visa or a student visa and they've stayed past their visa. And so really they should have taken, like I said, a responsibility, but also depending on what country you're coming from, coming from certain countries is easier than it is coming from others. So, and then also at the same time, under Biden, he was letting people come in. They were just registered and they were using that app. So at least they knew where they were and they let them stay. And so that's why Trump was like, oh, y'all who came over on that app, y'all got to get the hell out. Basically is what he said. But then I really felt bad though but then I feel like certain cases, there's different status of people, because you have people who come over here for economic reasons, you have people who come over for political reasons. There are people, for example, the Ukrainians are white, Europeans. They were coming over here as refugees. Some of the Russians were trying to get out of Russia because they didn't want to be over there. They were coming over as refugees. Cubans, for the most part, coming over as refugees. Okay, Venezuelans got the status because they basically were refugees. But guess what? Biden did that before he left. So guess what Trump does? Undoes it. He basically made them people illegal, and they wasn't even illegal. He just didn't like the last dude. That's all. Just it. And the poor Cubans thought they was untouchable. Because first he said, what do you say, Venezuelans? Then he had the trend of Agua. Not everybody's trend of Agua, MS-13. And then next thing you know, I heard him say Cubans. I said, excuse me? He gonna really deport some Cubans? I'm like, isn't Marco Rubio Cuban? By the way, Marco Rubio's grandfather came here legally, then left, and then came back illegally. And he was about to be deported again, but a judge let him stay. I'm like, look at the irony. Sir, you out here deporting everybody. And then people who were protesting on campus and they were exercising their First Amendment right, oh, now they're getting their visa taken away or their green card taken away. And I'm just like, what the hell? Because you was talking. And I think some people are also, I keep reading about, they're being set up. They're like, hey, like this one guy, he thought he was coming to a citizenship test, y'all. Another guy was coming to, he was coming to his citizenship hearing. They also been sending letters and calling people, call them in there for one thing, and they get there and they're getting deported. They can even put in handcuffs. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute. Yeah. And this is the thing what they say about due process, because there are immigration judges that you're supposed to go before, and they make a decision on whether or not, okay, yeah, you're gonna get deported, or no, I'm gonna need you to do this, and that. And that's when you have a lawyer, usually an immigration lawyer, who says, hey, yes, this person overstayed their visa, or yes, this person came here illegally, but look, they have a job, they have family in the community, they have committed no felonies, they are contributing to society. They're a tax-paying person. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. This Trump administration don't give a fuck. They just want you gone. And it's all or nothing. And it's just like, damn, do we not? And that's why, some people feel like, if they're illegal, you should leave. But then now they're seeing the way he's doing it. And it's like, well, I really don't. If they've been here for so long, then, let them stay. If they don't have no, because he said, oh, if you were a criminal, you were going to go, right? And so all of a sudden, you rounding folks up and saying they're criminals, and they finding out that some of the people you sent over there didn't fit the bill. But he's trying to, do a campaign promise. And some people, Latinos for Trump, Middle Eastern people for Trump, some black folks for Trump. Now you don't find out. Now your loved one is getting deported. You like you said you were gonna do the criminals first. Well, now he's just saying hell, everybody who's illegal is a criminal. I'm like shit. So I don't blame that man that I saw on TV the other day that basically climbed a tree to prevent them from taking it. I'm like, you don't know what that man is going back to. You already know Trump made a deal with Bukele. He's sending people to that damn prison. Oh, did y'all hear? I gotta go find the article. I'm always trying to figure something out. I gotta figure out how to have time. Did y'all know that they're trying to look for some other countries that will take these deported illegal aliens? They're looking for countries that are farther away, so it make it hard for them trying to come back to the United States. Now the ones that yeah, it's a broken system. It needs to be, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, because he was also because also he was tapping into um racism too, because really him rounding up a whole bunch of illegal immigrants, according to him, and shipping them off. Well, what color are most of them? Okay, um, there are American, like Native Americans were getting pulled over by ICE. There was a little lady, her and her daughter were Puerto Ricans. They are American citizens. They were getting pulled over by taken to the detention center. You trying to tell a person like, no, I'm actually a citizen of the United States, and they got to they trying to they have to prove it. These people are not listening. They got to meet a quota. And I think a lot of them, they wanted, things about, they really was looking at the economy, and they felt, and and I was reading this, watching another video. They're saying, Latinos I guess as a group, they hate on other Latinos even more, especially if they came over here illegally. Because the ones who came over, quote unquote, the right way, they resent the ones who came illegally and then get the pass to citizenship, or who just stay here, 20, 30 years and be in the same status. They don't like that. But the thing is, some of them are married to people who are in mixed. So now you're in a mixed status relationship. One person is legal, one person is not. And now your spouse is getting deported. Because a lot of people, this is what I think, and the FAFO people, this one man, his wife applied for a green card. This is the point I don't understand. You applied. You put in your application. They like deport you because you're illegal. I'm like, wait a minute. Me putting in the application, they don't put me like on a wait list somewhere? I'm married to a U.S. citizen. They don't put me on the wait list for the deportation. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all don't got no like system. It's like the same thing with Doge. Doge just went in there and just start firing everybody. It was like y'all fired some people that actually gonna help you run this goddamn department. Now the I'm just like, okay, y'all just slashing and burning everything. Now, the one thing I was really mad about, and I really do feel like above all other people, they should have been allowed to stay. If you came to this country as a damn baby or a child or a minor, whether your parent brought you across the border or if a parent adopted you from another country, really, it's the ones that got adopted from another country. That's the ones I'm just like, y'all. y'all just get to stay. Y'all citizens now. Because I just felt, because I was reading the stories about this, because like some of them are finding out as they are adults. They got adopted from another country, brought here. Okay, you going to college, you got a job, you for to work, you trying to get a passport now, you need your birth certificate, you want to vote for the first time, and then all of a sudden you got to go have a conversation with your parents. This one lady, I really wanted to punch her parents in the goddamn face. She went to them. She said, I think she was it a passport or a job or a driver's license? And she went to her parents. She said, am I a citizen? And her parents said, of course you're a citizen. We adopted you. We're citizens. Of course you're a citizen. But guess what they motherfucking ass didn't do? Fill out the goddamn paperwork. I'm like, you had 18 fucking years to make sure your kid was a citizen. Like, I'm thinking, like, did they not tell you when you adopted a child from another country? You didn't have to go through the Secretary of State website. You didn't have to go, like, hey, when you bring your child from another country, you need to go through the naturalization. You need to start the naturalization process with them. What the fuck? Like, damn, you had one fucking job. One goddamn job. And then the second group, I think it's say was some people didn't like it, was the dreamers. They literally were babies when they were brought by their parents illegally across the border. They're graduating high school, about to go to college. They're the top 10% of their damn class. And you find out, wait a minute, what? And then guess what? Some people found out the hard way, even more harder than that. Let's say you was speeding, right? Or you was drinking and driving, or you had some weed in the car. You probably didn't have a good attorney or no attorney at all. Now you got something on your record. Now the Department of State, the ICE is telling you, oh, since you are not a citizen of the United States and you commit a crime, you have to be deported. It was one guy, he was, oh my goodness, I was crying. He's like 30, y'all, 30 years old. And I'm trying to think, was it weed or was it drinking? I forget what it was. He has a wife, kids. I think he was either from South or North Korea or Japan. He ain't been there since he was a baby, y'all. So he's supposed to go. And by the way, he doesn't speak the language. So you gonna just deport him and deport him, and it's not even his fault. But then on the other hand, they're gonna say, well, he shouldn't have did the crime and he wouldn't be having this problem. But if his parents had did their motherfucking job, girl, exactly. No, you got no, Lizzie. Find out she has an eviction in your name. That's what that's what it feel like. That's what it feel like. And that's what I was reading. And this lady, she has the one that found out that she, her parents adopted her, and they literally told her to her face, "Of course you're a citizen. We're a citizen. You're a child. They were, because that's actually how Ted Cruz got his citizenship, because he's born in Canada. Well, his parents, they're originally from Cuba. They went to Canada, and then they came here. His mother got citizenship, and so he got citizenship through his mother. But he went through the process, though. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, you know what? What if the irony is, what if his parents never take to the person? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I'll be quiet. Let me not wish that on him, even though he gets on my nerves. He get on my nerves. But it's just like, I'm like, it's to me. I feel like with them, it's all or nothing. It's like not every case is an all or nothing case. And now you're talking about, oh, we want somewhere to send our. Oh, guess where they wanted to send them, y'all? They want to send them. They want to talk. They said they're talking with Rwanda. I'm not sure if it's Liberia or Libya. And so I'm saying, like, okay, here they go with their racism again. Okay, so you want to send them to a Spanish speaking or a country with a lot of brown people. Now you want to send people to a country with a lot of black folks. I see what you're doing. Didn't you say these same countries before used to be shithole countries? Now you want to send all them over there. So I'm like, yeah, we're in a relationship, we can send some people farther away. I'm like, what the fuck? We doing a reverse Guantanamo Bay? Like, what the fuzz? Mm-hmm. Just, well, thank you, Lindsay, for being on my duty. Thank you, Darcy Diamond. Thank you, OG Patrice, for being here. For going here, get my dog, and I'm probably. That's what I said too. I said, Lord, please let the other African countries, if they haven't already, just convince them just to say no. Matter of fact, I think it's what is it 50 African countries in Africa? All y'all need to say no. Please say everybody say no. Everybody. My thing is this: why don't you do this? Why don't you make a deal with Putin? Because I heard the gulag over there in Russia is a hell of a horrible place to be. Send them over there. Say, hey, Putin, look, you start fighting Ukraine. We make a deal with you to send all our people undesirables to the gulag, and we gonna make a deal. I seen some of the Ukrainian minerals. How about that? That's how that war. That's how the Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine war can stop right now. Send them to the gulag. Send them to that prison that Brittany Garner went to. You say you want to send them to somewhere far away. It's gonna be a hard time to get back. The only thing about sending them to sending them to Afghanistan, you don't want the legal immigrants to didn't want to be a part of, the Al Qaeda or the Taliban, and then they want to come back and fight the United States. You don't want somebody to be so disgruntled. I mean, because Afghanistan hasn't had a history of fighting, of instability. I think they want to send them to places that, are not very good, but at the same time, you don't want anyone to get recruited to fight against the United States because remember that one white kid that was over here? He ended up over there in Afghanistan. There's a guy in the U.S. government now, him and his wife, their son went to Russia and he ended up enlisted in the Russian army, and he was in a battle against some type of skirmish with the Ukrainians, and he died. They flying his body back to the United States, and they said, they said their son just went off. He wanted to do some water purification system. And I think they say he had some other mental issues too. And they said he went to Russia because that's what he wanted to do. And then I guess he decided, like, hey, if they're going to let me do this water purification, maybe I'll just join the Russian army. And I'm just like, okay, they find themselves a willing recruit. A white boy whose parents in the U.S. government who is mentally unstable. They found him one. Mm-hmm. I would just be afraid of Afghanistan. They whatever group of rebels is over there, they will just find some new recruits among the illegal aliens over there. So my thing is, like, I'm just all about due process. Just don't tell me like, oh, these people are criminals. Show me the paperwork. We finally got. I still need to do that video. Oh, I wish I had more time. Because I was able to download the paperwork for Abrego Garcia, and I was like, why didn't they put this out a long time ago? If y'all said that he deserved to be where he was, but then again, I'm looking at the stuff like I kind of feel like I still kind of feel like some stuff is missing. So I need to go on Pacer to see if I can find some other, if the immigration documents is, what would it be under? But anyway, let me get in here. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. If I find out any more information, just I'll come back on, or also check on my community wall, because if I find, if I get a notification for something, I will definitely share it. Because Lord, it's just, yeah. All right, thank you, ladies, so much. Y'all have a good night. Please like, excuse me. Please like and share. All right. But yes, justice for Abrego Garcia. Oh, guess what they did the other day? The U.S. government, you know what? They always doing this. It's like you're supposed to be you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but in the public opinion, it's like you're guilty until proven innocent. They don't publish a second protective order that Abrego Garcia's wife made against him in 2021. And I'm like, why didn't y'all show us this stuff when y'all first seen him? Oh, because y'all just thought y'all little excuse for him being over there was going to stick. But no, he done got himself, his wife also, got some defenders. So now you just trying to show, oh no, he should deserve to be over there. Like, you really care about this woman, like, being a victim of domestic violence, according to you. So I'm just like, okay, y'all seen him in 2024. So somewhere between 2021 and 2024, they figured some shit out. Lord, I hope it ain't a third or fourth protective order. That doesn't mean she don't love her husband and don't want him to be over there, far away from her and the kids. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Okay, all right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.